Now, some, as they were crossing that sea, might have had great faith. They might have been very confident. Remember, as the text said, as they cross through, that they see the water standing up on their right and on the left. And some, as they were walking through, they might have been quite confident. They might have been, yes, that's right, that's what God does. Others might have been like, I'm not so sure about this. But they kept walking. It illustrates this for us, that what's most important is not the amount of faith, it's the object of faith. Who your faith is in is what matters. I think about that man that came to Jesus when he was on earth, and he needed Jesus to heal his child. And Jesus said, "Do you believe?" His response is so good. His response is so much like our response so many times, if we're honest. He said, "I do believe. Would you help my unbelief?" It's kind of like looking at those waters saying, "I don't know." But you just keep going by faith. God will honor his word. He always has, and he always will. So Moses, as you part those waters, tell the people to just walk through the sea, and they'll be delivered. This is what I will do. I remember when I was, our family, when my dad first started to pastor a church in a little town in northern Iowa, when our family moved there, winters were really cold. And there was a little group of us that would meet together to walk to school in the mornings. There was a river that went right down through the middle of town. Well, after Christmas, when we got together to walk to school, these other kids who, of course, had grown up there, they just started to walk across the river. And I was like, whoa, what's going on with this? And normally we'd go like a block south, cross the bridge, and then, make our way like that, and they start to walk. They said, oh, it's fine now. They said, you see over there in the park, that flag that's up, that means it's safe to walk across. Well, I've got to tell you, I did walk across, but I didn't put my weight down the whole way. And I was petrified as I went. But I made it. Why? Because not the amount of my faith, it was the object of my faith. That ice by that time was very, very thick. And it was certainly sufficient for my weight. Now let's just say, I didn't do this, but let's just say it becomes springtime, and it's been, had some days like this for a while, and I say, well, let's go to school and we're going to cross the river. Like, well, I don't know about that now. Oh no, don't worry. We've done it every day for months. We're going to cross the river. Now, if I would have started out across the river and the ice was thin, it doesn't matter how big my faith was. It doesn't matter how confident I was. If that ice wasn't sufficient to hold me, I would go through. See, that's the point here. As they crossed, what was most important was not the amount of faith, whether they were confident, reluctant. It was the object of their faith, which was God, who parted those waters that they might be saved. And so we see here the amazing grace of God in the salvation that God brings.